Okay. Okay, one here. Put this on Twitter. Okay. Here. Hope everyone is having a great Sunday. Okay. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, hello guys, how you guys doing? I hope everyone's having a great day, a great start to their weekend. Okay, anyone who needs help selling, just invite me. Okay. Any tips on sourcing cargo? I will actually have a video coming out very soon, which actually I'll talk a little bit about that. But one thing you can do to make your cargo sourcing a lot quicker is set your spawn location to the office, and the second you deliver your cargo, just find a new session, invite-only session. You'll be put right back in the office, and you can source crates again. Oh, thank you, Darkness. I'm glad you enjoy my content. Okay. Okay, can I help Venji? Okay, I guess I'll help Venge, here. Nice Rocket videos you're making. Keep it up. Thank you, man. I can help you with that a little bit later, possibly, Sophistry, but personally, I really don't like selling cargo warehouse. I don't like helping people with that, and the reason is because cargo warehouses are just so risky. Like, you know, if you're doing, like, the plane mission specifically, it's, like, really bad. Like, I can help you sell your cargo, Sophistry, but if it's the Titan, I don't want to fly that personally. I can protect the Titan if you want, but I don't want to fly it. I can drive the boat, the tugboat, or I can drive the trucks with the cargo, but I just don't want to drive the plane of 111 crates, because that just really stresses me out. And I just don't want to be responsible for somebody else's cargo in that regard. Because it's, like, really dumb things happen, lag, and whatever, and you crash into, like, a pole, and, like, the whole cargo is gone. So that's just why I just really don't like flying the Titan when people ask me to. I can protect it, but, yeah. Thank you, Project Game Plan. Thank you for the, super chat. I'm good, how are you? I might play Dead Island 2, but it's coming out, like, what, next week, right? I still have to finish Sopranos, and I gotta finish, Crime Boss. Okay. Okay, I'm spawning a Sparrow if anybody wants to get in my thing. How long have you streamed? I usually stream for 2 to 3 hours. What's your go-to gun in Modern Warfare 2? I use a lot of different guns because I'm trying to level everything up, max. Okay, that's fine, Matt. I'll take care then. I would say the AK-47, probably. I run the AK-47 with a grenade launcher on Modern Warfare 2, works pretty well for me. I always like that class. You know, high power, and I have an explosive I can fire at somebody if, you know, if they're in a tight area. Odds of a business raid, it depends on the business. For a MC, odds of getting raided are much higher. For, like, CEO, it can still happen, but not as much. Bunker, it's a little bit less than MC. But MCs are the ones that get raided the most. I have 1 billion, what is that? 1 billion, what, 200 million? Oh, is it the mission that I think it is? Oh, yeah, it is. This is actually a very stressful mission, guys. I gotta tell you about this one. What do you think of Warzone 2? I really don't play it much. I play DMZ a lot. I guess DMZ does count as Warzone 2, but I play DMZ a lot. I can tell you about DMZ, but I don't really know much about the Battle Royale and that. How does he have a billion? I've been grinding for some time. But it's, well, since the game first came out, but the, DMZ, what I like about DMZ is it's not just like a nonsense mode where you just kill everybody for no reason like in the other ones. Like, you can choose whether you want to kill people or not. You can completely avoid players in DMZ. There's plenty of bots to kill, there's objectives to complete. That's what I like about DMZ. It's a different experience. Wow, 22 months. Not much to say, but hello, Prone Chat. I started playing Halo 2 on Heroic. I feel like I didn't give Halo 1 and 2 enough love. That's the hardest difficulty, right? I think so. Yeah, I might give Battlefield 2042 another chance again. Oh yeah, there's gonna be another big update for GT Online, don't worry. Okay. This mission, guys, everybody watch this right now. Look at what you gotta do in this mission, because this is a bit ridiculous right now. You guys will see this. What I gotta do in this mission. Oh, Legendary is the hardest difficulty. Okay, Mr. Wade. Look, so this is what you have to do in this mission, this. And this might seem like not that bad right now, but just watch this. Look at how tight this gets. Yeah, look at this right now. Oh, man. And there's a time limit also. I mean, you don't have to get the bonus, but I always try to. It's very easy to beach the boat on this and just mess it up. Well, I made it. I made it. Okay, I got the drop before the time ran out. Barely there, but. Ooh. The professionals, did you know that you can take the PS5 motherboard and put it in a PC case and spend like $500 on a water tubing kit? No, I did not know about that. Thank you, Sensitivity. Thank you for the super chat. Would you say GTA San Andreas is the Saints Row 2 of the series? Yeah, because San Andreas gives you so much freedom. Hello, Kings. Bro, how about another griefing video? I might upload a video of me fighting griefers, but maybe next month, because on my PlayStation 5, you know, in the Midwest, because I'm visiting family for like another 2 weeks here, but my PS5 is in the Midwest. I have a clip, like a 30-minute clip of me fighting a bunch of griefers in GTA Online. Maybe I'll upload that. Hey, Guerrero, how are you, man? Thank you for the super chat. When you last encountered a griefer? Last night. You know, last night, we had a guy that tried to blow up a document forgery sale, but it wasn't that big of a deal. We stopped him, and we killed him a bunch of times, and he left the session. So that was just it. No, I play sitting. You don't see my chair, but I'm sitting in a chair. My program doesn't capture my chair, so that's what. Next Sopranos part will be tomorrow. Next lore video about Red Dead Redemption 2? No, my next lore video will probably be about GTA 5. another GTA 5 project that I got coming out, but I have an idea for a Red Dead Redemption 2 lore video that I can make. I don't really get involved in that drama, you know, stuff like that. But what I will say is, I will say that I'm not gonna make any names, but what I will say is that one guy who started the drama, he basically starts drama with a lot of people. You know, he starts drama with me, Dark Viper, AU, and TGG. So that's just what I'll say about it. Is that guy tends to start a lot of drama, but I'm just not, you know, gonna really comment on it because I don't get involved in stuff like that personally. I just focus on my channel and just try to stay positive, and just drama personally stresses me out. I haven't gotten involved in it in years, and... Okay. Okay, let's see here. I know you can bite chaffs for the sparrow. Yes, I know that. Do I play GTA 4? Yeah, I did. I can do more GTA 4 videos. Like, you know, more free mode videos.
We selling?
Maybe I'll have to check my friends list if I have a room. The Sopranos, Joey beats everyone up. The funny thing about that is, one of my videos I actually have planned is gonna be called, this game should be called Joey Beats Everyone Up, The Sopranos Road to Respect, part whatever. I'm gonna have that as one of the titles eventually. That's just... But then, do you know the next one? The next part of The Sopranos, when I upload it tomorrow, you guys gotta check it out, because the next part is so ridiculous, and Tony Cipriani actually plays one of the characters in The Sopranos Road to Respect. So the guy who voices Tony Cipriani, he voices one of the characters in that game. But, what I'll say is, there's a mission, you go to the gym with Chris, and there's like a guy who tries to sell you a protein shake at the gym. And Chris just like punches it out of his hand, and then another guy like comes up to him, and Chris just kicks him in the testicles, and it starts like a massive fight. Like this is actually a fight in The Sopranos. Like the guy tries to sell a protein shake, and so Chris punches it out of his, you know, hands, and another guy goes up to him to try to fight him, and he just kicks him, and it starts just a giant fight in the gym, and you're just going through the gym fighting meatheads. Like, that's actually a mission in the game, in the Sopranos. You're, like, going through the gym just fighting meatheads over a protein shake. And the ridiculous thing about it is that the meatheads actually pick up pineapples. Like, there's pineapples in the juice bar, and they pick up pineapples and they try to hit you on the head with it. So that's a mission in the game. And I'm gonna show you guys that in the next part, but it's gonna be so ridiculous. Like, the Sopranos is like, it's still a fun game. It's like the combat in The Sopranos sucks, it does. But the dialogue is really good, and the story is pretty good as well, so it makes up for it. And the game has some hilarious dialogue, so it's pretty funny at times. Thank you, Misleading Aim. Which vehicle do you prefer, Mark 1 or Mark 2 oppressor? Neither, really. I used to use the Mark 1 a lot, but I don't really use any of them anymore. So I don't use any futuristic vehicles, I stay away from that. I'll use military vehicles, sure, but I don't use any more futuristic vehicles. I stay away from that now. Thank you for that super chat, Misleading Aim. Yes, I'm actually playing Medal of Honor Frontline in 2 months. June 6th, I'll have a playthrough of Medal of Honor Frontline. It'll be the remastered one, too. June 6th is the anniversary of the Normandy landings of D-Day, and so I think that'll be perfect playthrough to do a Medal of Honor Frontline. Did you expect your channel to hit 1 million subscribers years ago? Probably not. I was very surprised by it, but I want to thank you guys for the support because you guys did help me get here. Oh look, we're dropping cocaine on Devin's house. Okay. Which San Andreas do you prefer, original or definitive edition? Original. Because the original had the fog, it made it seem like it was a much larger map. Definitive Edition doesn't really have that. Like, Definitive Edition has some nice things. Like, Definitive Edition, the water in the Definitive Edition, I think, looks better than the original San Andreas. But, it's the fog, I think, that really, you know, does better in the original. I think some of the interiors, some of the buildings in the interiors look better in the Definitive Edition, but it's just, you can't beat the classic a lot of times. What would you be if you weren't a YouTuber? If I wasn't a YouTuber, you know, I'd probably be pursuing some kind of career in law enforcement. That's what I graduated in. Oh, great, I missed a drop. Okay, I'll go back and hit that drop in a moment here. Let me hit these first then. Okay, Michael. Is there even a max amount of GTA Online money? I don't think there is. Would you be in the military? I did consider the military when I was younger, but I ended up going into, you know, college, and I was going to pursue a career in law enforcement instead. Okay, here we go. I never ended up pursuing a career in law enforcement, but that's what I was planning on doing. It was for my degree, but yeah, I don't really want to do anything like that anymore today. So you want to be a narc? You mean a narcotics officer? No thank you. If I was to work in, like, you know, law enforcement, I would not want anything associated with, like, drugs, because that's, like, one of the most dangerous law enforcement fields to work in, and it's just such a messy field. I know about that in the stats, but I don't, what I'll say is that, drugs cause so much crime. People don't realize how much crime drugs cause, but they cause just so much crime because basically how good neighborhoods turn bad. You know how that whole thing happens? It's the broken windows theory. Hey, Pro, love the GTA real life location videos. Will ever do one for Vice City? Also, Vice is one of my favorite games. Vice City. Yes, I want to go visit Miami one day, and I'll definitely do a video like that, comparing it to Vice City. Thank you, Ma, for the super chat. But what I was saying is it's the broken windows theory. Basically, what happens is this. This is how good neighborhoods turn bad. And what happens is it starts out small. First, you have some like graffiti in the neighborhood. Something small like that, graffiti, you know, maybe some vandalism. And what happens is, if the police don't solve that, if they don't get on that, criminals see that. They can tell when police don't get on that, even if they're not involved in it. And what happens is that once that the graffiti and the vandalism isn't taken care of, then maybe you'll have something else. Maybe you'll have burglaries in the neighborhood next. And if the burglaries aren't solved, you're going to have even bigger crimes. So basically what it is it's a chain reaction. That if you don't solve the small crimes are eventually going to turn into larger crimes. And that's how bad neighborhood, you know, good neighborhoods go bad. You know, basically like that. It's like police that are just not doing their job, or maybe they're trying to do their job, but their politicians aren't letting them. And so that's basically what happened to, like, the south side of Chicago. It's a perfect example. See here, you consider history major a good major? Yeah, it is. History might be a harder place to find a job in, but it's always, you know, good to, like, you know, to have, like, a knowledge of the world and stuff like that. And, you know, what happened. What's gonna be the next top 10 or top 5? I have a new top 10 video coming out in a few days. It's gonna come out soon. Don't want to spoil it, but it's gonna be coming out soon, but I think you'll like it. It's also gonna be a video that'll help people out. So the top 10 will be, you know, you'll talk about things that people might not necessarily know about, but you know, going back to drugs, what I was saying about it. So the small crimes basically turn into larger crimes over time. And what happens is when drugs show up in a neighborhood, that's like one of the worst things that can happen to a neighborhood, because drugs are like a catalyst of just so many bad things happening. Because think about it this way. When drugs come into a neighborhood, right? Who are the drug dealers working for most of the time when they come into a neighborhood? They're working for gangs. And what's going to happen is that the drugs are going to get people addicted in those neighborhoods. They're going to get addicted, and how drug dealers get people addicted is usually they go to parties. They go to places where a lot of people hang out. And the drug dealers basically go up to a bunch of people and tell them, hey, you guys want a free sample during the party and stuff like that? And they, you know, take it. Heroin, coke, whatever. They get addicted to it. They want more. And that's how the drug dealers, you know, build addict customers. That's basically what they do. And so what ends up happening is the drug dealers get people addicted. These people get addicted. Their lives start revolving around the drugs. And what happens is these people are desperate to, you know, get drugs to feed their addiction. And so they're going to do anything to get money for their addiction. They're going to break into homes to ransack them for money, other valuables they can sell. They're going to rob people for money. And so now crimes are going to go up, you know, all around because of that. So a bunch of crimes are just going to start, you're going to start having burglaries, you're going to start having robberies going up because of that. But then also what's going to happen is because the drug dealers are backed by gangs, there's going to be different gangs, they're going to be coming into the same neighborhood, and they're going to start fighting each other over drug territory, drug selling territory, and they're going to start killing each other. And that's how you're going to start having gang wars. So that's why I say drugs are like one of the worst things that can possibly happen, because people don't realize how much problems drugs bring. It's not just about the addiction, it's the gang violence that drugs brings in. It's the fact that addicts start committing other crimes like robberies and burglaries. It's just so many bad things happen when drugs come into a neighborhood. Okay, got 2 miles on this here. Oh, thank you, Dev. Thank you for the super chat. Played GTA 4 for the first time on Steam and got the infamous helicopter glitch. Why is Rockstar like this? When you say the helicopter glitch, are you talking about that glitch at the end of the game when you can't pull your Nico into the helicopter? Is that what you're talking about? You don't have to. Thank you for the super chat, Sloppy MC. You don't have to super chat me again. I'll look for your comment. I do appreciate it though. But let me know what you mean, and I'll answer you. Are you talking about that glitch at the end of the game? Yes. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's what you're talking about there. Yeah. I think there might be I think there might be like a mod or something that you could download that actually fixes that problem, because that is a problem that's been in the game for many years. The Ultimate GTA 5 Money Guide will be coming out later this year. I might wait until after this update in July, this July update, because the new July update might have a new business again. So, am I a good pilot? Yeah, you're decent. I'm gonna help then sell a few more businesses, and then I'll move on to helping somebody next. Hi, Yara. There we go. Okay. There's another update coming? Oh yeah, in July. There'll be another one. Got any more retail stories? I'll try to think of something. I pretty much told everything that I could think of. I think there really hasn't been a retail story that I haven't covered. No, GTA 4 is an awesome GTA. It's not boring. I'm still gonna help Ven sell a few more businesses, though. Here. I don't know if there'd really be enough for me to cover in a lore video on a Doomsday heist, but... When do you think will be the last DLC? Maybe this December. I don't think it's gonna be this July, because Rockstar would have announced it earlier that this summer will be the last DLC. I think this December might be the last DLC. Yeah, but we typically get something still in the summertime, Electra. Yeah, Michael is the only GTA protagonist that hasn't come in a DLC, so we might see him next. Am I fearful that GTA 6 will be lame because of cancel culture? I don't want to see anything political in the next GTA game, honestly, nothing political. I don't mind if they have, like, fake politics, like, if they have, like, you know, fictional, made-up politics for GTA, like a corrupt, mayor or something like that, okay, that's fine. But I don't want to see any reference to, like, real-world politics in the next, GTA game, personally. It's, it's a GTA game, we don't, come here to, hear some political drama and stuff like that, so I really hope we don't see that in the next GTA game. I will say, though, that, in regards to your question about cancel culture, I think that cancel culture is stupid as hell. I do. This idea that, like, somebody says something, like, 10 years ago, and then that should ruin their life in, like, modern day. People change. People change their view. So it's like, everyone said stupid things in their life. And so this idea that somebody can be, like, have their life destroyed on, like, something they said, like, 10, 15 years ago, one of the stupidest things that I've ever heard of. No, Amen. Do you think GTA 6 will have a story DLC like GTA 4? I hope so, but I doubt the Rockstar will do a story DLC. They'll just do online. Yeah, and the thing is, when The Lost and Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony first came out, these DLCs were primarily for single player. That's what we bought them for, primarily for single player. They did have a little bit of online to them, but they were primarily for the single player. That's primarily what we bought them for. And it was just, yeah. I would just say that it was, now we had not one single player DLC for GTA 5 when you think about it. Not one. Enter a plane? Oh. Nope. Oh, thank you, Mr. Waifu. Thank you for the super chat. Do you know what the hardest video that I've ever made on the channel was, Steve? The hardest video that I've ever made on the channel was the North Yankton video. That's what I would say. Is the, not the one with Brad. Not that one. The Brad lore video. Not that one. It's the one where visiting North Yankton in real life. Going to North Dakota in real life. That was the hardest one. I went to North Dakota to, film it, to show what it looks like in the game and comparing it to real life. That was the hardest video that I've made. And the reason it was such a hard one, it was because I traveled a bit. I drove. So I drove like, 6-7 hours, because it was 6-7, Bismarck was 6-7 hours from me. And so I drove there and went to Bismarck, and by the time I got there it was dark, rented a hotel. Then the next day I just spent the entire day just running around the city, just recording a bunch of different things. And then that same day drove all the way back, so another 6-7 hour drive. So I would say that the North Yankton video that I made, that was the hardest video that I've ever made. And plus I had to edit the video too, put the whole thing together. And I had to break a lot of the footage down. So it was, so yeah, I was saying that the North Yankton video is the hardest video I've ever made on my channel. Can somebody get a Vince, can you please get a pyro and just guide us with flight formation? Because it would just make this, this so much faster. Oh, well, I don't mind the cold. I don't. The cold I didn't mind. When I was recording that, it was like, what, like 20 degrees, maybe like closer to 10 degrees. Like, so it wasn't actually that bad. I know some people that's, absolutely freezing for them. But for me personally, like, the cold actually does not bother me that much. Honestly speaking, I would much rather be outside when it's 15 degrees than if it's 95 degrees. That's just the way I am. Like, I can handle the cold much better than I can handle the heat. So, when it comes to North Dakota winters, I'm no stranger to that, and I'm perfectly fine with that. It doesn't really bother me. But I'll tell you something, guys. That when I was in North Dakota and it was like, 15 degrees, that was actually considered a warm day. And believe it or not, that when it gets to like January, because I was there in November, when it gets to like January, in North Dakota, it can drop down to like -40. Not even joking on that. -40, -30. That can actually happen. Whoa, whoa. Thank you, Mr. Wade, for that super chat. And Antonio, thoughts on New York criminality during the 70s? Well, like the Bronx changed a lot. Like the Bronx, New York City isn't perfect, but like for example, the Bronx, a lot of stuff has gotten fixed. There's a lot less crime in the Bronx than there was like in the 80s and the 70s. Yeah, but that's 15 degrees Fahrenheit, though, Ian. 15 degrees Fahrenheit is very different than 15 degrees Celsius. Let me look it up right now. I will look it up right now because when I say 15 degrees, I'm talking about Fahrenheit in my country, but I do realize there's a lot of people that do Celsius. Hang on, I'll tell you how much it is right now. Okay, 15 degrees Celsius is -9. 15 degrees Fahrenheit is -9 Celsius. So that's how much it is. It's -9 Celsius. Thoughts on MrBeast controversy? There's another one? Yo, it's Cam. Oh, Cameron? Is that you? Yes, Cameron, I sent you a message on PlayStation, a few weeks ago about Kane and Lynch. I guess you were just AFK or just not on PlayStation at the time. But, yeah, we recorded that Fragile Alliance video on Kane and Lynch. And, I'm gonna be doing another Fragile Alliance video if you want to help with that. But the other one we're gonna be doing on Kane and Lynch 2. So if you want to help on the Kane and Lynch 2, you're more than welcome to on that. Up here. What's your opinion on MrBeast? I don't really know much about the guy, but I know he helps a lot of people. And the thing about that is that people have criticized him and like attacked him. and like they've said that, oh, he gets rich off helping people. But my response to that is basically, who cares, really? Even if he's getting rich off, because he is rich, you know, that's how he affords this stuff. But even if he's getting rich off helping people, he's still helping people. So I don't know what the big deal is, personally, people like attacking MrBeast. Like, you know, I don't watch the guy really, but that's as far as I know about him. So it's like, if he's helping people with his money, who cares if he's getting rich from it too? If he's giving back, he's helping people, like he helped like cure blindness. Like, you know, there was people that needed eye operations, he helped them out. You know, who cares if he's also making money from like a video like that? So that's like, you know, he's getting rich and he's helping people. So that's like, you know, that's something that, you know, most people I would hope would want to do. Is they want to help people, but, you know, they also want to be rich. So that's... So, like, you know, I don't get this personally, this attack on this, Okay, Venge, I'm good. You can guide the last plane, because I'm right near my drop. Okay. You look at chat here. Did Cameron respond? Oh, okay, you saw it. Okay, cool. Cameron, do you remember me by any chance? We used to play Kane and Lynch a lot back in the day. I don't know if you remember me. I have you added on PlayStation, but I don't know if he's still here. But we definitely need to link up, bro, and game like the old times. Keep up on the grind, my guy, and great to see you again. Oh, okay. I guess you do remember me then. I'll try to, Kings. Thank you, Phoenix, for the super chat. Nintendo has taken down people's videos of playthroughs of Point Crew. Got a Zelda Breath of the Wild content taken down and got 2 copyright strikes. What? Why? Is that game not out yet or something? What's... Okay, Venge, this will be the last business I help you with, and I'm just gonna go and help somebody else right after this, okay? I just want to help as many people as I can. What am I wearing? Why am I wearing a dirt bike helmet? Okay. What the? Now I have another helmet on? Okay. Oh, great. Oof. Can somebody get an insurgent and just push us, please? It'll just make the mission go so much faster. Have you heard that a man stabbed in a... What? No, I haven't heard about that, Super Mario. When people are such psychos, what ended up happening? Did he get arrested? I really wish that we could upgrade these post-op vans. These seriously need an upgrade because these missions are so ridiculous. I'm doing good, Alfredo. How are you, man? Oh, well, the PSP games, like Vice City Stories and Liberty City Stories, actually did have a multiplayer, but those multiplayers were never online. They were just, you know, you would just remote play to another PSP next to you. Your lights are out. I know. It's getting a little darker. I'm gonna turn on the lights in a little bit, guys. I'm just one moment. Let me just make this drive because these hills are just annoying. And I'll turn on the lights. What do you think of GTA Plus, stupid? Once I'm over these hills, it'll be better. Whoa, oh. Okay, thank you for the push. I could never fly like that. You're really good at flying. Thank you. My name is, Dad, do you know about the big billard at Barrow AFC? I don't know what that's about. What is that? Can you explain to me? Thank you for the super chat. Wearing the helmet. No, I don't have GTA Plus. I don't use that. Okay. Yeah, the too many CEOs option, that's just stupid. I agree with you that should be changed and fixed. Oh, come on. That's what I hate about this. The rocks. Oh, I don't really get involved in the drama. Stay away from that. Okay. Oh no, come on, come on, come on, come on, no, no, no. No, 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 no. Damn. I hate this mission. Don't really have much of an opinion on them, Michael. Why don't you use GTA Plus? Because I think it's a ripoff. Okay, let's see here. Gonna cut right across here. I have to watch out for the rocks. Got a lot of nonsense in the way here. I'm good. How are you, man? The Umbrella Academy? No, I haven't. Oh no. Oh. Come on. Oh my. Come on. Okay, I got it unstuck. What happened to OG Loke? He probably left town after the events of San Andreas. Go. My most regrettable purchase in this game? What is it? I can tell you what it is. It's nothing. And the reason that I don't regret purchasing anything in this game. Not one thing. And the reason is because everything that I've purchased in this game, I've purchased for a reason. So even if there's things that absolutely suck, I've still purchased them just so that I can make a video, basically showing if it's worth it or not. So I buy the stupidest things in these games. The only thing I won't buy is GTA Plus. But when it comes to everything else, I bought the stupidest vehicles in this game just to do videos on them, just to show they're not worth it. Well, what the? What the? The road was blocked. The hell was that? How did that happen? Okay. I don't know how the hell that happened. That was ridiculous. Okay. Come on, no! I forgot about the ditch here. I completely forgot about that. I'm trying to save time, but now I'm gonna take longer. This is how horrible the post-op mission is. You see this? What are we delivering coke to the train people here? Yeah, you don't want to take coke or whatever. Oh no, it's counterfeit money when you're driving like a train. Here we go. Last drop. Hit it. I'm gonna turn on my light right after this, guys. I know it's getting a little dark. I apologize for that. I'm gonna turn my light on right after I make this last drop. there we go. At least we're moving now. Yep, we're moving. Okay. Yeah, pushing the post-op van actually helps a lot. Makes it go a lot faster. Thank you for the push. Whoa, whoa. I'm okay. Why is GTA 4 so dark? GTA 4 came out at a time when you had like a lot of dark games, like Far Cry 2, you had Call of Duty World at War. Like 2008, you had a lot of really dark games. So that was just a style like, and also when you really think about it, GTA 3 and GTA Liberty City Stories were both pretty dark games. They were. You know, San Andreas is actually a more happy game than GTA 3 and Liberty City Stories. Those games were way darker. So that's okay. Let me just turn on the lights now. One moment here. Sorry that it got so dark in my room, guys. Okay. I prefer GTA lore over Red Dead lore because I know GTA lore like the back of my hand. Like, I know these characters and their intentions really well. I know Red Dead lore pretty well, too, but I know GTA lore much better.
You close?
Hi, Pro. What is Rockstar thinking making the Oppressor Mark II 8 million? They should have just made all vehicles a missile lock-on only to NPCs. Yeah, and Caliber, I agree with you. I don't think that, that Rockstar, like, making the Oppressor Mark II, like, $8 million, I don't think that's really going to do anything. I think that, my personal viewpoint on it is I don't think it will do anything whatsoever to reduce Mark II griefing. I think, if anything, it's just it's gonna prevent new Oppressor Mark II griefers. That's all it's gonna do. It's not gonna reduce the amount of Oppressor Mark II griefers at all, 0. All it's gonna do is it's gonna reduce the amount of new Mark II griefers, that's it. So it's that's pretty much what I think about it. Is what they should have done. Let me know what you guys think of my idea. But what I would do if I was able to balance the Mark II, I would make it so that the Oppressor Mark II cannot lock onto player vehicles. You cannot lock onto player vehicles anymore. You can only lock onto NPCs and cops. So like hostile gangsters and cop cars and NPC cars in missions, you can lock onto them. But you can't lock on the cops anymore. That's personally what I would do, because then that way it keeps everyone happy. People can still use the Mark II for grinding if they want to, but you can't use it to lock on the players, because most of the time people die from the lock-ons. Because the thing is, these Mark II griefers, if you want to know how much they suck, you want to test it how much they suck, next time an Oppressor Mark II comes after you, if you want to see how bad they are at the game, all you gotta do is get out of your vehicle. That's all you have to do, just get out of your vehicle, because they can't lock onto you, and then see if they can hit you. If they're struggling to hit you when they don't have the lock on, it shows us how bad they are at the game. But these Mark II griefers usually suck so much that they can't manually aim for anything. They have to rely on the lock-ons. So that's... Oh god. Yep. Can't even get on this? Okay. Okay, how far we got here? 3.5 miles. Maybe I'll do zombies for Call of Duty Zombies for this year, on Halloween. I have a special video planned for GTA 4's 15th birthday. What's a game that everyone loves but you hate? I would say that I hate it, but I dislike it would be Fortnite. Fortnite would be a game that I know a lot of people like, but I personally don't. Just not a fan of it that much. I haven't played it myself, but I've seen plenty of gameplay, and it's just not a not something that I'm really interested in. There we go, good work. I'll stream DMZ one day. One day I'll do a stream on DMZ.
That's a success.
Okay. Fun fact, Black Ops 2 story was inspired from the Mass Effect. Basically, every decision you make has good or bad outcomes throughout the story. So it was inspired by Mass Effect, huh? Well, I know that was like the first Call of Duty game that they actually gave you like choices in it. And thank you, It's All Jack. Thanks, man. Hey, stream Battlefield 1, I could definitely do that in the future, yeah. Hey, say, Bo, why ain't accept my PS friend request, Bo? Why you don't want to be my friend, Razor? Well, thank you, Dark Knight. I could try to add you possibly later after the stream. I appreciate the super chat. I just have to check my friends list because my list might be full, but I'm always open to adding more people on my list. Okay, 2-mile drive here. Plane here. Oh, hey AJ Banks, how are you, man? Was I originally born in the US? Yes, I was. Have I ever been to Europe? I've been to Europe last time in 2010. So, 13 years ago, about. Okay, let's get over this drop here. People don't know is that rain actually causes turbulence in the plane. People don't know that. It does. In this game. No, I've never been to Oceania. You like McDonald's? Sure, I guess it depends on what you eat there, but sure. No, Michael. What Rockstar should do to really improve GTA Online? Why don't they do a questionnaire? And, like, do, like, a poll. Like, Rockstar does, like, a big poll. And asks, like, you know, post it to Twitter or something like that. Or maybe even on their website, because not everyone has a Twitter. And just ask, you know, ask everyone in that poll, like, you know, what kind of content you want to see. Like, you know, give a bunch of different options, like, several options. Like, what do you want to see nerfed? You know, stuff like that. I've flown over Germany, but I've never visited Germany. Hey Pro, any advice for starters with low budget? I've been watching for about 4 years and I love your content. Well, thank you, It's All Jack. With a low budget, what I would do is I would get a, the first thing that I would get if you have a low budget is get the Kasatka submarine. Because that will let you run Cayo Perico. And Cayo Perico is a great source of money. It is. So it's, Cayo Perico is a really good way to make money. And it's not a, it's not very complicated to do either. And, you know, once you get Cayo Perico going, what I would do at that point is I would start, like, running, like, passive businesses. Like, you know, maybe the bunker, the MC businesses, get that, buy supplies from them, let them produce. You know, do heists in the meantime. Okay. I think that Rockstar has already developed so much of GTA 6 that they're definitely not going to, you know, ask people for feedback on that game. No problem, it's all Jack. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, I stream Red Dead. You know, I've streamed, Call of Duty in the past, but I should stream more, you know, more Call of Duty and other games, too. Saving Private Ryan is a good World War II movie. It's Enemy at the Gates. Enemy at the Gates is really, you know, not that historically accurate to the actual story, but it's a good one, too. I would recommend, though, for World War II, you know, movies, not just for TV shows, more of it, watch Band of Brothers. Band of Brothers is probably, like, the best World War II TV show that I've ever watched. Pacific is also really good. Okay, I will try to add him. I'll try to add him, later, though, Skull. But you and your friend just have to be patient. I have to check if there's room on my friends list. Well, All Quiet on the Western Front was World War I. Brandon, I'll help you next. Just be calm and I'll help you next. Just wait. Right after this sale, I'll join your MC and help you. Have I watched Fury? I've seen clips of it, but I've never seen the full thing. Maybe the Uncharted games one day. I never really played them, though. Well, the thing about the movie Pearl Harbor, what I'll say about it, is that Pearl Harbor was a, okay, well, after this, Mark, Pearl Harbor, when they showed the battle itself, the Battle of Pearl Harbor, and, like, how the Japanese planned that was pretty much a, that was a good part of the movie, but what sucked in the movie Pearl Harbor is the unnecessary romance, like, throwing that in. That's what was really bad, in that movie, because when you really think about the plot of Pearl Harbor, what is, like, more than half of the movie in Pearl Harbor? It's like, you know, two guys that are having, like, a dispute over this one girl. That's pretty much what half of the movie is. It's like, I remember I saw it, like, when I was a kid a long time ago. It's like the one guy, he's dating this girl, he volunteers to fly as a pilot in Europe for the British, because America was not involved in World War II at that time, and so he supposedly gets shot down. They thought he was dead. Then this guy starts, you know, dating his girlfriend, and then he actually survives, comes back, there's, like, a big argument, and then, like, the whole Battle of Pearl Harbor happens. So, like, if they actually cut out the stupid romance parts of the movie and just focused more on the battle, that movie would have been much better. But it was just, that's pretty much what it was. It was just, you know, two guys arguing, you know, over a relationship with this girl. That was pretty much what most of the movie was. It was just not that's what I didn't like about Pearl Harbor. If you want to see a much better movie in that regards, watch Midway. Pearl Harbor's only a small part of Midway, but Midway is just a, you know, much better movie, you know, because, you know, Midway doesn't do that unnecessary romance. It doesn't do that stuff. Yeah, your teacher said that the movie's more romance than World War II. Yeah, that's the problem with the Pearl Harbor movie. That's what sucked about it. I'm not joking. Go and watch the movie Pearl Harbor. Like, you would think the movie called Pearl Harbor was, like, a movie about mostly the Battle of Pearl Harbor, but, like, most of the movie is just really romance. That's what most of the movie is. Brandon, invite me. I'll help you now. 1917, you ever watch that? No, I know it's the World War I movie. Wait, what? Gotcha? Have I seen Bar Rescue? I've seen a few clips here and there. I know it's like, the guy's like the Gordon Ramsay of bars. I know that. He goes into bars, he tells them what they're doing right and wrong. And there's a lot of really crazy people on Bar Rescue. I've noticed that. Like, the owners on Bar Rescue are even crazier than the owners that Gordon Ramsay has dealt with. So that's, so yeah, some of them get really, like, you know, crazy. You got the Titan glitch? Oh man, that sucks. Brandon, are you inviting me? What's going on? Is Brandon still here? I think he might have left the session. Oh, he left? Okay, I was gonna help him next. Whatever then. If he joins back, I'll help him. But, I guess somebody else invite me, I'll help you. Would you like the next Battlefield to be Cold War or modern? Honestly, I'd like to see a Cold War Battlefield. And, like, do you guys remember those rumors that were going around about, like, you know, the next Battlefield game? And I think it was the rumors for Battlefield 5, not even for Battlefield 2042, but, like, the rumors were that, like, the rumors were going to be that the next Battlefield game was going to be, like, a Cold War scenario, where it was going to be, like, in the 70s or the 80s or the 60s, I think it was, where, like, the Soviet Union and the US go into, like, war, and it's, like, World War III, and there's, like, a lot of different places, like, in Asia, and, like, and Europe, and even, like, you know, Cuba, and, like, you know, a bunch of different places that you're fighting in. And, like, I think that would be a really cool game, like, having, like, an alternate Cold War, you know, World War III, you know, game. You know, you have, like, 1960s, like, you know, gear and stuff like that. I think that would be kind of cool. You know, that would be, like, I think it'll be different. I think it'll be cool doing something like that. Have you ever watched The Great Escape? Yes, I have. I've watched The Great Escape. That's one of the best World War II movies ever. I completely forgot about that one. Thank you for reminding me. But Great Escape was a really good movie. But, you know, the Great Escape, the thing about that movie is it shows you that the, unlike a lot of the typical Hollywood movies, you know, the message in that movie is that the good guys don't always win. That's basically the movie, and that's the thing in The Great Escape. That was, like, you know, big moral of that movie. And it was just that, you know, they tried so hard to escape, and it wasn't successful. I think that the, only the guys in the ship, I think, out of all the prisoners in that movie, I think only the guys in the ship were the ones who escaped, right? I seen it a long time ago. Steve McQueen failed to escape, I know that. The other people, the people on the plane failed to escape. It was,
Okay.
Okay, is this Merryweather? Great. Okay. Okay. Some vegan came up to me saying if I eat meat, I go to hell. What? Are you joking or are you being serious? But if you're being serious, I'll tell you that person's an idiot. That's what I'll say about it. What I'll say about this is that look, I have no problem if people are vegetarians or vegans or stuff like that. I have no issue with that. One of my good friends is a vegetarian. But what I will say about it is my only issue with stuff like that personally is when people try to judge you. When you have somebody that's like a vegetarian or a vegan and they'll try to judge you and they'll say, oh, you know, he's a bad person because he eats meat or something like that. No. So that's what I'll say about it is I have no problem people want to be vegetarians or anything like that. I just don't like the judgment. And I don't like, you know, people thinking that you're a bad person. But I think personally one of the worst things that you can do if you're like a vegetarian, I think, is trying to force that on your family. That's like one of the worst things you can do. And like I've seen things where people like force that on kids, where they force kids to be vegetarians. And I personally think that's really stupid. Kids should have to decide. Like I know kids aren't gonna decide everything that they have to eat. You know, it's up to the parents what they're cooking, what they're buying. But the thing about this is, you know, if kids want to eat meat, they want to eat meat too. And so the parents shouldn't be restricting that to their kids. That's wrong. And when Or pets, yeah. Well, yeah, the thing about that is when vegetarians try to feed, pets, only vegetables, certain animals have to eat meat. They have to. And if they don't eat meat, they're gonna get sick. And so that's what people don't understand about it.
What's up?
Okay, here we go. By the most extreme people I've seen logic, I must be Lily, Makarov, Vogel, Dimitri in their eyes over doing something they don't like. Well, no, you're not like those people, Mr. Waifu. Thank you for the super chat. I'll do Mega Man Legends 2 one day. It's like I said, if somebody wants to be like a vegetarian or a vegan, that's perfectly fine. I think the issue is when you try to, the issue is when you basically judge other people for it, or you try to, yeah, you try to make other people seem like they're bad people for it. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Some animals are vegetarians, they can't eat meat. They can't. But it's not because they choose not to, it's because they can't. They'll get sick if they do. But other animals have to eat meat too, or they'll get sick. Like, imagine if you have like a dog, like a German Shepherd, right? And you feed that German Shepherd just vegetables, nothing but vegetables, it's gonna get sick. Over time it will. I wasn't comparing myself to these awful people. I was making fun of how insane vegans will hate you just because you eat meat or whatever they hate. Oh, thank you, Mr. Waifu. Well, it's not everyone. Like I said, it's not everyone. We're not stereotyping like, vegans or vegetarians here. What I'm just saying is it's like, my only issue is when it's like, people want to, they judge. When they judge other people who aren't vegetarian and they think that they're like bad people. That's like my, that's really my problem with it personally at that point. I think that's stupid. I agree, I support everyone's right to do what they want, but not when they try to push it on me. Yep. Well, thank you, Unknown, for the super chat. Explosive Sniper is very helpful here in this situation. Okay, where's Merryweather here? Come on. Easy, see that? I like Explosive Sniper is very useful for like this mission. Oh, damn. What's worse, to hear fix bayonets or bonsai? Honestly, I think worse would be fixed bayonets. Because you're going right towards the enemy in close quarter combat. With a bonsai charge, I know that's scary too, but they're coming towards you. You have the advantage temporarily. You're defending. So that's, so I'd say fixed bayonets would probably be scarier than a bonsai charge. Thank you for that super chat, Glover. Oh, cool flying there. There we go. Took out another car. Easy explosive sniper. Okay, let's go to the next one. I'm doing good, Rashawn. How are you, man? I don't think it's possible to really eliminate corporate greed. I don't think you can really do anything about that. It's an unfortunate thing, but well, the romance wasn't the most inaccurate thing in that was kind of inaccurate in Enemy at the Gates, but it wasn't the most inaccurate thing. The most inaccurate thing in Enemy at the Gates was that whole battle with Major Koenig and how it happened. It didn't happen like that. Okay, the last one is gonna be the meat packing plant. I'm pretty sure that's where it's gonna be. I miss PlayStation Home, I do. PlayStation Home was really cool. It was like a place you could just hang out with your friends, play bowling, like, it was actually a fun place. Like, you know, that pool, but why did, you know, I wish they would have had something like that on PS5, personally. I'll do Mafia later this year. I'll do it. Oh, passed it. Okay, it's at the Maibatsu factory. I'll do LA Noire one day.
Yes, yes, I understand. Of course, señora. I'm lucky to work in these tough times. No, señora, but I will try and
Am I planning on doing any non-crime related games? Yes, Medal of Honor Frontline. World War II game in June. Is GTA Definitive Edition good? Good question, Jimmy. San Andreas still has a lot of problems, but GTA 3 Definitive Edition and GTA Vice City is fine for the most part. Whoa, whoa, what the? Damn, where is that last enemy? On the highway, like back there, okay. Ah. There we go. Okay, now we just leave the area. Got it. Rockstar is not greedy. I think that you're trolling. Love your videos. Thank you, Wolf Dog. Okay, good work on that, everyone.
Look at.
There we go. People wondering how did I do that? I'm really good at flying helicopters. Kevin is a better character than Johnny, like in Saints Row. Now I know you're trolling 100%. Yeah, I don't think that Vic would have screwed over Tommy if he was alive. Oh, hey, Jermaine. I mean, you know, the definitive edition of Vice City actually could have fixed Vic's appearance. They should have made Vic Vance look like he did in Vice City Stories. That's how they should have made him look in Vice City Definitive Edition. And they should have brought back his original voice actor for that one scene with him. Who's worse, Makarov or Raoul? Makarov. Yeah, Makarov is just much more worse. You know, Raoul at least had people he somewhat cared about still, where Makarov had nobody he cared about. Makarov was just plain psychopath. So it was, yeah. You play scary games? I played, Outlast on the channel before, I did that. Outlast Trials is coming out this May. My gym workouts are doing good for the most part, I would say. Can you stream GTA 4 online? I could do that on a stream. One day, yeah, I could do that. Maybe we'll do that on the anniversary, actually. That'll be perfect for that. Because coming out, the anniversary is coming up in like a week and a half of GTA 4. I don't really have a favorite YouTuber. There's a lot of different channels that I watch, but I wouldn't say that I really have necessarily a favorite channel. Ow. Easter was good. I know GTA 4 Online has modders in it, but I made a video on it a week and a half ago. Like, I played GTA 4 in 2023, but the thing about that is that the modders in that, while they were spawning like a bunch of vehicles, they weren't really toxic like on GTA Online. Like on GTA Online, the modders are toxic as hell. Obviously, it doesn't excuse the modding, but I'm just saying is that I didn't really get griefed in GTA 4 Online when I was playing, so... You're my favorite YouTuber. Love from South Africa. Thank you, Ricardo. Thanks, man. Does anybody need help with a heist, by the way? I can help you with a heist right after this. Yes, they are, but on console, not on PC. There we go. Yeah, pretty easy mission for the most part, though. Would I like a new GTA game set in the 3D universe? Probably not. I'd like to see them keep doing the HD universe, personally. Hey, good work, everyone. Hey, Pro, one of my family members was fired for attempting to stop a shoplifter. She worked at CVS. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to your family member, Preston. What I'll say is, a lot of these retail companies, they don't want their employees to stop shoplifters because they're scared that they could possibly get sued if that person gets hurt. But, I understand why your, family member would want to stop that person. But it's, these companies are just really stupid, and, CVS is a perfect example of a very greedy company. So, I'm sorry that your family member lost their job, but that's, CVS is already a pretty scummy company. Does anyone have a heist, by the way? I wanted to possibly help with a heist right now. They'll have my warehouses. Okay, okay, well, I guess I can help you with your warehouses there, Sophistry. I'll help you with your warehouses, invite me to your CEO, but I'm not gonna fly the Titan. If the Titan spawns, I'd rather you fly and help us protect you, but, yeah. If you guys can still keep, Lloyd and Skull, if you guys can still keep helping Yara, because I think Yara still has a few more sales. But I want to help Sophistry now. The Sophistry's been asking all stream for help with those warehouses. Do you have any heist ideas? I would like to see a heist, but what if they use Pavel's submarine? To do a heist in, like, some other country, again. But not necessarily, like, not necessarily the Caribbean or, South America. Why don't they do, like, a heist in Europe or something like that, like stealing something specifically in Europe. And, the submarine can get you across the ocean. That. So... I think your wing is gonna hit the helicopter. Oh, you despawned it, okay. Yeah, if a plane like this stalled in real life at this altitude, it would not be able to recover. I don't know how you do that. I'm not flying, by the way. He's, yeah. It's superiority, Nihon. He's flying. I don't know how he does that. You probably lost one of the engines there. Yep, you did. Ooh. Yep. My favorite Hitman mission? Probably the Las Vegas mission in, Hitman Blood Money, the first one. The first Las Vegas mission, I would probably say. Thank you, Glover, for the super chat. Sophistry, are you almost done with that sale? I'll help you with your, I would do the Lost and Damned and the Ballad of Gaytonia online, though there's one problem. Nobody plays it online anymore. I tried to find lobbies of the Lost and Damned, the Battle of Tony. No one plays it. No one. I was able to find lobbies of the regular GTA 4. That I was able to find, you know, some people playing. But when I kept searching lobby and lobby, I was able to find one person on the episodes for Liberty City. Caliber, are you guys almost done with that sale over there? Oh, I think that was them. Names are for friends, so I don't need one. Oh, 47. Yep, that's from the first mission, too. I remember that. Invite me then, Sophistry, I'll help you. Whoa. How you doing this? Yeah. No, Pro, based on what I played, is Rockay City worth playing? I heard a lot of negative things, but I love the 90s Miami vibe. Worth a try? It's not out on console, it's only out on PC right now. It's gonna come out on console in June. I would say, though, if you like Payday, and you like Vice City, I think you'll like Crime Boss. But Crime Boss has some things that are bad in it. Like some of the dialogue in Crime Boss is very cringe. It is. But at least it's not Saints Row cringe, if you're wondering. So it's not that level yet. But it's you know, the characters are still at least somewhat gangsters. I would say some of the gunplay really sucks in Crime Boss. Like, it's not the best. But the best part about Crime Boss is the empire building. Like, building your empire, choosing what to spend money on, that's the best part of Crime Boss. And I think the game does do decent in that. But what I would do, if I was you, Offer, just wait until Crime Boss is on sale if you want to get it. Or, you know, or buy it used. You know, you can probably find a good deal on it at that point. But, yeah, that's just what I'll say about Crime Boss. Yeah, I don't know how he's doing this, yeah. I don't know, I still don't know how he's doing this. It literally got me across the map with this. That's a nice parking. Just sell the warehouse whenever you're ready. Office 3, I'll help you with that. Black Ops or Modern Warfare? If you're talking about Black Ops 3 and 4, Modern Warfare much better. If you're talking about Black Ops 1 and 2, I think Black Ops, but what I will say is, I think I enjoyed the story more in the Black Ops games than in the Modern Warfare games, though the Modern Warfare story is good. Though the multiplayer I enjoy more in the Modern Warfare games than in the Black Ops games. What I'll tell you is that the Call of Duty community can be really toxic at times and very unreasonable. Like, do you guys remember when Cold War came out? Cold War wasn't a bad game. It wasn't. It wasn't an amazing game, but it wasn't, you know, a terrible game. It had a decent single player. The graphics were pretty good. The multiplayer could have been a bit better, but the zombies was really fun in Cold War. It was. Cold War zombies were great. And then everybody was like, people were just saying, oh, Cold War sucks. Cold War is the worst Call of Duty ever. Remember that? And then like a year later, Vanguard came out, and everybody's like, no, Vanguard sucks. It's the worst Call of Duty ever. It's like, I'm like, make up your mind, people. That's just, you know, what I'll say about it. Is like, you know, people kept saying Cold War is the worst one, and then Vanguard, and it was just, you know, that's. Go to LSI and enter the plane. Okay. Okay, okay, hang on, hang on a second, I gotta spawn my own helicopter for this. I have to make sure that the drops are secured. Because sometimes the drops have helicopters at them. Sophistry, go towards the left drop first. Hey Pro, are you a good PvP player? I'm okay. I'm actually better at PvP in Red Dead Online than I am in GTA 5, but in GTA 5, I'm much better in vehicles. Like, if I'm fighting somebody in a helicopter dogfight, I can kill them pretty quickly. If I'm fighting on foot, I'm not that good. Like, helicopters are my specialty in this game. I'm pretty good with them. Okay, let's see. Is there any helicopters here? Because sometimes there's enemy helicopters at the drops. Okay, there's nothing here. This drop is secured. Okay, Sophistry, after you make this drop, head right. Just head towards the right drop. Will I do a Godfather playthrough sometimes? I did Godfather. I did Godfather 1 and 2. Okay. Okay, this drop is secured too. There's no helicopters here. The helicopters, when they're at the drops, they can actually blow up the Titan. That's why this, do you know what I will say is, do you know what the worst GTA Online mission is of all time? Out of I've played hundreds of missions in this game. You know what I'll tell you, in my personal opinion, the worst GTA Online mission of all time, worse than any other mission, worse than Post-Op. Do you know what I'll say it is? It is the Titan sail, the one where you have like 10 drops, and you have to fly low near the ground. That is the worst GTA Online mission of all time, the worst one. And there's helicopters at each drop too. That is, I don't know if the helicopters appear on the one where you fly low, but there's like a Titan mission. Somebody let me know in the comments. Is it on the mission with the Titan when you have to fly low? Can the helicopters also spawn on that, or is that only a different version of the mission? Because I know there's a few versions of it, but basically the reason that's the worst mission in the game, the Titan one, the one where you have to like fly low and you have to like avoid the enemy helicopters, is because there's so many things that can go wrong. Because you're flying low, you could hook onto something. Like, the textures might not load in the game, and a tree might load really quickly, or like a pole, and you hit that, the Titan instantly blows up, you lose 100 crates. Or the helicopter chases you down, and the helicopter blows up the Titan. So the NPC helicopters, when they chase you during those Titan missions, they can blow up the plane easily. And then what happens is, you lose 111 crates. And that's why I personally think that's the worst mission, the worst Titan, the worst mission in the entire game, is because you're literally flying so low, and you have to make like 10 drops at the plane. It's horrible. I'd rather do post-op any day, because post-op is annoying, but it's not stressful. The Titan mission is stressful, and that's why I think the Titan is the worst. The Titan sail is the worst mission in the entire game. That's just my personal view on it. Happy Sunday. Oh, thank you, Pork. Thank you for the super chat. No helicopters chased you? Okay. Yeah, so I guess when you have the mission where you have to fly low, helicopters don't spawn. When the mission when you can fly like above normal levels, I think helicopters spawn then. So that's the thing. This is actually the easier version of the Titan mission, this one right here, which is 5 drops, but there's one with 10 drops, which is much worse than this. So that's I'll say about it. Okay. And when Sophistry makes this drop, there's gonna be one final drop, and that final drop is gonna have cops. So that's Where's the final drop? Let's see. Where is it? It's over Fort Zancudo. Okay. Hi, Brandon. My parents are from Poland. Just call Lester and you're good now, Sophistry, and fly to your next warehouse. Good work. If it's the boat or the truck, I can drive that, no problem. I can do that for you. I just don't want to fly the Titan personally, because the reason I don't want to fly the Titan is because I get so stressed with this mission. Okay, that's fine, Lloyd. Yeah, I'm excited for Mafia 4, but do you know what I really hope Mafia 4 has? I really hope Mafia 4 has an online component to it. I'd like to see something like that, like an open world Mafia thing. Like, imagine something like GT Online, but Mafia themed. Like, you know, I would like to see something like that. I think that would be cool. What do New Yorker youngsters do when hanging out? Well, you know, when I was growing up as a kid, you know, we'd play basketball, we'd just hang out, you know, play handball. That's, you know, what kids used to do, you know, New York when I was growing up. But, you know, now these days, these kids, you know, most of the time will just sit on their phones. And, you know, that's pretty much it. You know, I know there's play sports and stuff like that, but the phone was such a distraction. The phone is such a distraction today. It wasn't like that when I was, it wasn't like that when I was growing up. You know, didn't have all these smartphones and all this stuff. Thank you, Patrick. Okay, well, Brandon, I could possibly help you sell later or on the next stream. Because after I help Sophistry, I'm probably gonna make some food because I'm hungry. Okay, I can drive one of this, no problem. Oh, this is easy. You got the easiest mission in the game for this one, Sophistry. This is so easy. There's the one of the GPS route, the tracker, It's double money on the crates right now. Can somebody let me know? I just forgot what the event was for this week. $50% more, okay. No, don't listen to that. I don't think TGG is a scammer. Don't listen to that. It's just a bunch of stupid drama. It's just, that's all I'll say about that is... Hey, I'll give you a ride, Sophistry, if you need it. Are you here to, I don't think anyone's a scammer. You know, I think it's just a bunch of nonsense that's being spread around. It's just stupid drama. I just don't pay attention to stuff like that personally. The guy who's the thing I'll just say about this, the guy who's making the scamming accusations is the same against TGG is the same guy who constantly starts drama with, you know, most other creators. Started drama with me, started drama with TGG, started drama with Dark Viper AU. So it's really, that's just what I'll say about it. Yeah, this game is about 10 years old. Oh damn, this mission. Ugh. I think this might be the mission we were talking about. The one with the oh, damn. Okay, I can blow up the enemy helicopters. I can deal with that. Sophistry, but please, if you could fly, because I hate flying the Titan on this. And I'll take care of the helicopters. Yeah, I tell you, I hate the Titan mission. I hate it. I really do. I wish that I would rather do Tugboat every time than do Titan mission. Because at least Tugboat isn't that stressful. He's driving from point A to point B. But like Titan, there's so many things that can go wrong during the Titan mission. That's why I hate it. What do you think about marijuana and psychedelics? I asked you last stream, but you didn't answer my question. I apologize, Def108. I guess I didn't see your, I guess I didn't see your comment last time, but let me I'll answer your question. Just give me just a few minutes here because I have to clear out these drops for sophistry. Sophistry, go for the drop in the middle of the city first. It's clear. And then go right immediately after that. Go towards the casino after that. Just checking these drops to making sure there's no helicopters at them. Because sometimes there's helicopters that spawn at these drops and they attack the Titan. After you hit that drop, sophistry, that middle drop and the casino drop, go a little bit north here. And we're gonna basically do a big loop around the map. Okay, first drop is coming. This is why I hate Titan. You see this? Because there's so many things that can go wrong. You can hook it onto so much stuff. This is why I think it's the worst mission in the game. It's quicker than post-op, sure, but it's so stressful because so many things can go wrong. And if you mess up on this mission, you're not getting your crates back. That's what's so scary about this mission. Okay. Hit this one, sophistry, and after you hit this one, go north. You see this? You got... Oh, you're missing one right here. Yeah. Hit that, and then go right. I'll lead the way with my helicopter. And then keep going straight after you hit that drop. Go here. But, I'm gonna answer your question. The person asking me about marijuana, I'll answer your question in a moment, I promise. Just let me guide, sophistry through this mission, because this mission is horrible. Oh, be careful here. Be very careful here. I can help you possibly later, tomorrow, Michael. I'm just really hungry, so I'm gonna make some food after this. Okay. Now, go for this one. Just be aware of the wind turbines. I'm not gonna fly over the prison because I don't know if you can get cops on this, so I'm just not gonna risk it. Okay. Oh no. Sophistry, don't tell me that you got the... Don't tell me you got the Titan glitch. Don't tell me you did. Did you? Oh no. I really hope... I really hope she didn't get the Titan glitch. Oh man, this is gonna be really bad if it... Did you get glitched? For people that want to know what the Titan glitch is, the Titan glitch is basically where you're doing the crate sale and you cannot, and you can't finish the mission. Like, you fly over the drop and it glitches out and you can't make the drop. And the mission becomes impossible to fix at this point. There's only 2 ways to fix the mission at this point. You either wait the 24 minutes until it's 0, and your crates, I think, get returned to the warehouse, or you just close your app. Are you glitched, Sophistry? Oh, no. Okay, never mind. There's no glitch. Sophistry, go right, because you can just get the other 3. They're in proximity of each other. Get the one to your right first. Okay, I'm glad Sophistry didn't get glitched out. Okay. I think she just had to fly the plane lower. I think that's what happened. Okay, now the person asking me about marijuana, what I'll say about it is, I think it should be up to the people whether they want that legalized or not. You know, people should decide on their own. It should be maybe a referendum, something like that. Let the people decide. But the thing about it is that, I'll tell you though, from what I studied in law enforcement, to answer your question, you know, I didn't have a job in law enforcement, but I went to school for this, and I talk to people who deal with this every day. There is not one person in law enforcement that I know personally that wanted marijuana legalized. Not one person. And the thing about that is that you would think that the people that have to deal with this on a daily basis, that they want it to be legalized, just so that they wouldn't have to deal with it. But the thing about that is that the reason that they don't actually want it to be legalized is because they actually think that it's actually going to get much worse if it's legalized. Because basically, what happens is, think about it this way. I have heard a lot of people say that, oh, if you legalize marijuana and you tax it, that's going to reduce, like, crime. And it's going to reduce, like, cartels and stuff like that. But no, it's actually not going to. Because what would happen is, I'll tell you what would happen. If marijuana was legalized, let's just say, what would happen is that the cartels, for example, you know, somebody might buy marijuana legally from, like, a dispensary, right? And they might start smoking it. You know, marijuana's not really addictive, not like cocaine and, like, you know, other hard drugs. But somebody might smoke it, they might like it. And then what happens is, they don't want to pay taxes on it. And so they go to the drug dealers instead to buy from them. Because the drug dealers aren't going to tax them. Because they're selling it illegally in the first place. So the drug dealers are not going away. Just because you make marijuana legalized, it's not going to make them drug dealers magically disappear. But this is the thing that I hear people say all the time. They say, oh, there won't be any drug dealers if marijuana is legalized. The government can tax it. No, there's still going to be drug dealers. It's still going to happen. So that's what I'll say about it, personally. I'm not against it necessarily being legalized. I think it should be up more to the people. But what I'll say about it is that, yeah, it's just when people make it seem like if it gets legalized, all these problems are going to go away. That's not necessarily true. So that's, Wait, did you have to fly low on that mission, Sophistry? Can you just reply to me? Did the game require you to fly low on that mission? Just tax the drug dealers, problem fixed. No, it's not going to be fixed, because the drug dealers are going to sell illegally. They want to sell illegally because they're not going to be paying taxes. So that's So you're not gonna stop it. I mean, look, alcohol is legal. It is. But do people still moonshine? Yeah, they still do it. Why do people moonshine alcohol if alcohol is legal? Because they don't pay taxes when they sell it. That's the reason. So this idea that this idea that like marijuana being legalized is gonna make all the cartels and the drug dealers go, it's nonsense. It's not going to. It's not true. Yes and no. Marijuana is legal in certain states, but federally it's not legal. And the federal government doesn't enforce the law. However, though, what I will say is that be very careful who the president is. That's what I'll say about this. Because whoever the president is, they might have a different viewpoint on this. And so how the law basically works is that marijuana is legal in certain states, but federally it's not. And what that basically means is that these states will not prosecute you for buying marijuana. So if you buy marijuana from like a dispensary, stuff like that, these states aren't going to prosecute you. That's why marijuana dispensaries, that's why they specifically use cash. So that the federal government can't trace them, even though they might be legal in like a lot of states. So basically what that means is that state is not going to prosecute you for marijuana. However, though, the federal government, the feds, could come in one day and they could just say, hey, this is not okay, and they'll just arrest you. And the state can't do anything about that at that point, even if it's legal in your state. So that's federally it's not legal, but it is legal in certain states. So that's basically what I'll say on my analysis on it. How do you see Big Smoke smart, bro? The reason that I say Big Smoke is a very smart guy is because he was able to run this massive crack empire, and he was able to make contacts with the local syndicate, finalize these deals, send people over, send couriers over, and he was also able to hide his money through an orphanage and also through being an OG Logs manager. So he was able to illegally hide that money. So that's why I say, for somebody to run that big of a criminal organization, they need to be smart. And that's why Big Smoke is a very smart character. He's not an idiot. Hey, what's up, Jimmy? Oh, great. Cops, okay. Oh, okay. Thank you for paying for the bribe authorities. Oh, and I just got him on me again. I didn't see that. Okay, I'll just call Lester. Not a big deal. No, I don't do drugs.
What do you need exactly?
Okay. Here we go.
So you don't want to get in serious trouble, huh? Okay, leave it with me.
And I'll answer the question on psychedelics in a little bit. Let me just finish this sale. But, I'll tell you guys something about what I was saying about marijuana, earlier. Don't take my position on marijuana as a position, anti-legalization. My position is I'm just a more neutral guy on it. I'm not necessarily against it if, people want it legalized. What I'm just saying is, from my perspective, it's not going to fix all these problems that people think it's going to fix. Let me get over to these drops. Delivering to the Epsilon program, huh? Yeah, possibly, Michael. Okay, let me get this drop here. Okay. Okay.
Oh my god, now what?
Okay, now the guy that was asking me my view on psychedelic drugs. Are you talking about drugs where you have like hallucinations? Like, is that what you're talking about, so I get it right? Are you talking about drugs like the mushroom stuff? Is that specifically what you're asking my view on? What do you think of some social media fakers? Idiots? That's as well. What I'll say that, and this is the reason that I don't put on a personality, guys. Like, my personality in real life is the exact same that I have on stream. There's like very little difference. Anybody who's been a PlayStation party with me, you know, can tell that I act very similar to a PlayStation party that I do in a on my streams. But I don't believe, you know, in personalities, because I believe you should be yourself. You know, only thing I don't discuss on like streams is really politics. But you know, I think that you should be yourself. And you know, people come to my streams and they say to me all the time, they're like, "Oh, you're not funny." Well, I'm not trying to be funny. You know, I am who I am. I'm a pretty serious guy. I know I am. People say you're serious, but that's just my personality. That's just who I am. So my speciality is explaining things. Some people might be good at making people laugh, but my speciality is explaining things, making guides for people and explaining things like lore and story and stuff like that. That's what I'm good at. You know, telling stories. You know, I'm not you know, I'm not the comedy guy. So I make that very clear. Let's see here. Shrooms, LSD. You know, what I'll say about the, you know, stuff like that, I'll say, you know, the mushrooms and stuff like that. I don't really know the health effects of stuff like that, but as for the hallucinations, I can say that's very dangerous. Because when somebody is seeing stuff that's not real, that can cause them to do bad things. It can cause them to hurt themselves or hurt others. So that's what I'll say about that. Not even like, you know, it's very different than like being drunk, for example. Because when somebody's drunk, they're just in an incapacitated state. They're just, you know, they're just, you know, slurring their words. They're not they're not able to pay attention to their surroundings when they're drunk. And, you know, they're dizzy, you know, a bunch of other effects to it. But when somebody's, you know, taking drugs that's causing them to hallucinate, they're seeing stuff that's not real. And that might cause them to react in, like, a bad way. You know, they could hurt themselves or hurt somebody else. And that's, you know, my personal view on that. I think that, like, when it comes to, like, the mushrooms and the marijuana, I think the mushrooms are much worse than marijuana, personally. That's my viewpoint on it. Top 5 cross-platform games next gen. I'd say probably the #1 best cross-platform game is probably Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Because Modern Warfare 2 you can play with anyone, Xbox or, you know, PC or PlayStation. Okay, wait. Let me spawn a... Sophistry! Is this the one with... Okay, is this the one with the cops? Okay, hold on a second. This might be the bad one. Great. Where's this helicopter spawn? Rockstar, stupid. This is so stupid. Why are you spawning the helicopter here, game? Okay. Yeah, I mean, Modern Warfare 2, because, you know, I'm not defending, like, Infinity Ward or, like, Activision. Don't get me wrong with that. You know, they're greedy companies. But I'm just saying for, like, best cross-platform games, these are, you know, the, Modern Warfare 2 is one of the best ones, because Modern Warfare 2 you can play with anybody. And it's very simple to play with people. You have, like, a whole friends list, so the cross-play does work good on Modern Warfare 2. I know Sniper Elite 5 also has crossplay. Hell Let Loose has crossplay with PlayStation and Xbox. Okay. Is this... How many more warehouses... How many warehouses have we sold already? Oh, hey, Cameron. You here? So, Cameron, I don't know if you heard my comment, like, last time. You said that, like, you know, we should play, like, back in the day. But do you remember me? When we played Kane and Lynch, though? I think you do. Do you remember? We played on both Kane and Lynch 1 and 2, me and you. like many years ago. Way before my channel. Okay, last one. Okay, cool. But you know what I will tell you, you know, my best piece of legal advice for people, like, you know, regarding like marijuana, if you live in a state where marijuana is legalized, do not go into business in that. Don't go into business into that, and don't have anything involved in that. Like, don't work for a company that, like, even if it's a company, like an actual company that's like has a dispensary, don't work for them. Don't get involved in any of that. The reason, like I said, remember what I said. It's legal in certain states, but federally it's not. And so that means that whoever the next president is, you know, the president can just one day just say, I'm going to send the feds in. And he could just send the feds into those states where, even though marijuana is legal in the states, federal law is more important than state law, law. And so that they could close down those businesses and arrest those people. Even though it's legal in those states, federally it's not. So that's what I say, is that, you know, don't get involved in that business. Even if it's completely legal in your state, don't. Because it's just one day you could have the wrong guy become president, and you're gonna, you're gonna have a lot of problems. So that's just what I'll say about it. I cannot believe that you didn't get the tugboat once. The tugboat is actually the easiest mission. Well, besides the truck one, but I recommended Halo, the Master Chief Collection for Xbox One, Series X, and PC for crossplay. Sure, it's not the best, but it's Halo's best game. Thank you, Mr. Waifu. Thank you for the super chat. I might play those games one day. I like the action in the Halo games, like the vehicles, but I never really knew the story that well. If you could have a conversation with any president, who would it be and why? Oh, thank you, Austin, for the super chat. Any president and why? Probably for a really old president, I would probably say George Washington. I think it'd be very interesting talking to the first president of the country. For more modern presidents, the Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt is probably the guy that I would want to talk to, because Teddy Roosevelt was the. Here's the fact about Teddy Roosevelt a lot of people don't know about. Teddy Roosevelt was the only American president in history that got so close to making a third party. He was so close to it. It was like the Bull Moose Party or something like that, I think it was called. And he had like a third party that he was running. And he was running in the elections. And he nearly won. He actually got a lot of votes. And this was not Democrat or Republican. And so that's what I say, is like asking, if I could talk to Teddy Roosevelt right now, I would just simply ask him what he thinks of the US right now. That's just what I would ask him. And I think, my personal viewpoint from everything that I've read about Teddy Roosevelt, I think he would give a very negative answer if you asked him what he thinks of the US right now. I don't think he'd be very happy. But thank you, Austin, for that super chat. Would a third party work in the U.S. at all? No. Not at this state. Pro, you was my first teammate on Kane and Lynch before Sour, GTAJ, or anyone. Never forget my kings. Yeah, but do you remember my clan? My clan on Kane and Lynch was the 7. I don't know if you remember the 7 clan. That was the clan that I was part of on Kane and Lynch. Progressive Bull Moose Party. Yes, that was what it was called. But, yeah, what I'll say to you guys is a third party would never work in the U.S. I'm not trying to be a buzzkill, but I would like a third party. I would like a different option. But the thing about it is that it would never work. Never would. And the reason is because the reason people don't vote for third party. Do you know why they don't? The reason they don't vote for third party is because they think third party is not going to win. And when you really think about it, they're not really going to. Because everybody has that mindset. Everybody keeps thinking, I gotta vote for Democrat or Republican because third party is gonna win. When I was like 18 years old, do you know what party I actually voted for when I was 18 years old? I voted for the Libertarian Party. That was the party that I voted for when I was like around 18. But Libertarian parties never won. They have won some local elections, sure, but they've never won a federal election ever. So it's not really gonna happen. So that was like, so yeah, I don't think that it's I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the only way that a third party would ever work in this country is if both the Democratic and the Republican Party were broken up. That's the only way they would work. Because if you think about it, if the Republican Party was to be broken up, Democrats would win every single election. And if the Democratic Party was broken up, it was Republicans would win every election. So the only way that a third party would truly win is if both parties were broken up into smaller parties. If both the Democratic and the Republican Party were each broken up into smaller parties, and you had like different factions and stuff like that, then at that point third parties might work. But with this state, when you have like the two parties so powerful, no, third party will never win. It'll never get any kind of attention. It won't.
Holy shit!
But it's just and it's not even just about the the third parties, but it's also because people have this like team mindset. I guess we'll be wrapping up the stream here, but what do you need to sell on unconverting? I guess I'll help with one more sale, and then I'll probably eat dinner. But what I'll say is that the problem with, and I'm not trying to be political, I stay away from that nonsense. What I'm just saying is that people have this team mindset. What I mean by the team mindset is they basically think that they have to support their party 100% on every single thing. Even if it's something they personally might not agree with, they feel like because it's their party that they have to follow and agree with that policy. And I personally think that's a really stupid way to think about it. I think that when you go to vote, you should vote for whatever you believe in personally. It shouldn't be based on like what a specific political party tells you. And I think that's the problem with politics, is people get too involved in political parties. I mean, George Washington himself said that political parties would be the downfall of the U.S. So people should just vote based on how they think personally, what they believe. It shouldn't be based on, just party lines. But I'll give you guys a perfect example, and I'll tell you something. People, you know what the problem with American politics is? That people basically think that the other side is toxic as hell. But the reality is both are toxic. Because I'll give you guys a perfect example. Where I'm from in New York, there's really toxic people on the left. But then if you go to a state like Texas, there's really toxic people on the right as well too. So I'll give you a perfect example. From where I grew up in New York, if you go to these really toxic left people in New York and you tell them, I agree with 95% of what you guys are saying, but I disagree with gun control, they will tell you get the hell out of here. Even if you just disagree with one thing with them, they'll tell you get out of here. And then the same thing, if you go to Texas and you tell them, I agree with 95% of what you guys are saying, I agree with small government, all of that other stuff, but I also think that gay people should have the right to get married, they'll tell you get the hell out of here too. So if you just disagree with one position of either the right or the left, they'll tell you get the hell out of here. So it's never just, specifically, having all these diverse set of viewpoints. It's always, you have to have complete mentality of just either party. And I personally think that's the problem, is that, both sides accuse each other of being toxic, but the reality is both are toxic when you think about it. So that's my personal viewpoint on it. And I tend to stay away from it because I think that I just personally think that it can get really toxic. Pro, what's your PSN ID? It's Polish/mercenary. See, oh, I got teleported in the bunker. That's just my personal viewpoint on it. Let me see. I missed a bunch of comments. I'm sorry. Why do I keep having this helmet on? I think I didn't, Keep up the good work. Hope your troubles with the Sopranos playthrough doesn't get worse. So thank you, Dewey. Yeah, my Sopranos playthrough got demonetized because YouTube said that it was a Are you still Cameron22 Gold? Because if you are, I message you. I'm Polish mercenary. This is my my PSN. Where is it here? Polish mercenary. See the gold? Polish/mercenary. That's me. I'm an Unconverting's CEO right now.
We need distance between us and the buyers.
I'm legit burnt out from SJWs versus anti-SJWs BS. Well, Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, and it's like I said, you know, I'm just trying to stay away from the nonsense, but you'll have toxic people on both sides. I think that if both sides stopped accusing each other of being toxic, I think there could be things that they could possibly agree on. Let me go over here. Oh, you changed your PSN? But you used to be Cameron22, right? Okay. I'll send you a message after the stream then, Cameron. Okay, let's go over here. Yeah, possibly later. Okay. Whoa, 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 what kind of driving is that? You can't cross the double yellow line. Okay, let's go through here. Well, thank you, Chase. Ah, damn, that barricade there. Well, I'll tell you, I traveled around the country, and I've seen a lot of different drivers. And, when I was growing up, here, and, you know, especially New York, where that's where I grew up most of my life, I thought that the worst drivers that, you know, I've ever seen was in New York. I didn't think there was anything worse than New York drivers, the state that I grew up in. But I was wrong on that. When I went out to the Midwest, I've seen the best drivers in the country that I've ever seen. In the Midwest, you know, I've seen a few bad drivers, but it's not on the scale that's in New York. Like, the drivers are much more reasonable. They're not, you know, they're not crazy, they're not aggressive. Like, do you know what I see in New York happen all the time, but I never see it happen in the Midwest on the road? The most common thing that New Yorkers do that's really annoying on the road that Midwesterners never do. Hang on, I gotta get this unstuck here. But... Okay. Push this a little bit here. More. Ah, God. You know what, I'm gonna go on the other side and see if I can just push it out right here. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, up and atomizer. There we go. That's why the up and atomizer is good. Okay. What I'll say is, can anyone here guess? And I can say this because I'm a New Yorker. But can anyone guess what New Yorkers do on the road that's really annoying? That I haven't seen any, you know, Midwesterners really do? Because I moved out to the Midwest. I've been living there for, you know, nearly 3 years at this point. Driven a lot there. And I have not seen the same annoying thing on the road. Anybody know what I'm talking about? No, it's not really jaywalking or that. it's more you got it more there, Flaming, the cutting off. I have not seen the cutting off happen in the Midwest. But it's like this. I'll give you guys a perfect example. You know, let's just say that you're on the highway, right? You're on the highway, and the speed limit on the highway is 75 miles per hour, right? And, you know, somebody's going, like, 40, 50 miles per hour, right? And you decide to speed up, not necessarily to cut them off, but you're just speeding up, and you're just going to change lanes ahead of them. A good distance. In New York, you know, the speed limit is a lot less. I think it's like 65 on the highway. Well, let's just say that somebody in New York is driving like 40 miles per hour on the highway, and the speed limit is 65, right? You decide to go 55 in that. So you're 15 miles, you know, 15 miles above him, but you're still 10 miles under this legal speed limit. You know what people in New York will do? The second that you catch up to them, they will start speeding up. New Yorkers do this all the time. You're on the highway in New York, and you're about to pass them because they're going too slow, they will speed up, and they won't let you merge. And I found that so annoying. It's like, you know, if you're going to be driving slow, okay, go ahead. I'm not advocating speeding, by the way. But if you're driving slow, you're darn slower than the speed limit, and the person that's passing you is still driving above the speed limit, under the speed limit, you know, why are you just don't let them just pass? Why do you feel the need to just speed up and just not let them merge? I find that personally so annoying. People don't let you merge. And when I was in the Midwest, I had never seen something like that. If somebody's driving slow, and, you know, and you pass them, nothing. They don't speed up. I've never seen one person speed up, and in New York, I've seen dozens and dozens of drivers do that. But I've never seen that. So I'd say Midwest is the best, I've seen the best drivers in my life in the Midwest. I have. But the worst drivers are not even New York drivers. They're not. I thought the New York drivers were the worst drivers that I've seen in my life, but they're not. You know what the worst drivers I've ever seen in my life was? Chicago drivers. They're the worst ones. I've driven through Chicago a bunch of times. Driven through downtown Chicago. The drivers in Chicago are the worst that I've ever seen. And I haven't even been in Chicago that much, but just being in Chicago for just that little of time, every single time I've driven through Chicago, I see psycho drivers. Every single time. There's not one time when I haven't driven through Chicago I haven't seen psycho drivers. It's like, it scares me. Like, it's like the people the drivers in Chicago that I've seen, they're just so crazy that, like, they will speed, they speed like maniacs. Like, they go above the speed limit like maniacs, and even in the downtown areas. Like, I remember one time I was driving through Chicago because I was driving across the country because I was driving, this is when I was driving across the country to go to the state that I lived in, right? And I had to drive through Chicago to get there. And so what happens is I pulled into Chicago at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm driving down the highway in Chicago at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what the name of the road is. It's that road in Chicago it's like there's like a train in the middle of it. So it's like the highway and there's like a train in the middle of it. It's that road. I was driving down that road, and I don't remember what the speed limit was, but I was driving just under the speed limit. And I had so many people cut me off. They were driving like double the speed limit. Like, it was just so many people, and they were driving right next to me, and they were cutting me off like a few feet in front of me. And literally, I was getting so scared, I thought that I was gonna smash into one of them. Like, it was just scaring me. And I was like, do people in Chicago drive like this? And then I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, this has just gotta be a bad day. You know, this has just gotta be like, you know, this is just gonna be a rare occurrence, right? Drove through Chicago another time, a year later, the same exact thing happened. And so that's what I say, is the drivers in Chicago terrified me. I'm not trying to insult anybody from Chicago, but I'm just saying, in my personal experience of driving through, it scared me. It scared me, like seeing the drivers in Chicago. Like, I've never seen people like that. They were more aggressive than New York drivers, and I thought New York drivers were the worst drivers that I've ever seen. But it was, in my personal experience with Chicago drivers, they were the worst ones. So it terrified me personally. It really was. I mean, people might be laughing at it, but actually did scare me because it's how psycho the drivers were in Chicago. It was just that. It was, oh man. Okay. I wish U.S. public transportation was better. Well, thank you, Victor. I mean, the city transportation is like, city transportation, it depends on, you know, the place that you're at. New York public transportation is not that good. I know you can get around New York without needing a car, but the subways aren't on time, buses aren't on time, a lot of traffic. Chicago is probably similar. Though, my analysis of Chicago, when I've been there, is Chicago is kind of similar to New York, but it doesn't have any islands, but it's less congested. That was my analysis of Chicago. Because driving through downtown Chicago, it didn't have as much, even in daytime, it didn't have as much traffic as New York traffic. New York traffic is much worse. That was my analysis of Chicago, is it was kind of like New York, but it was less congested. That was, well, yeah, no, I mean, Illinois is the state, but it's, I'm just saying the worst place that I've seen is Chicago. The city of Chicago has the worst, drivers I've ever seen in my life, personally. Anybody who's from Chicago probably agrees with me on that.
Looks
but
like you sold
it's,
that.
that's just, you know, yeah. A dash cam is necessary these days. Yep, it is. I mean, you know, should be something like NASCAR for New York drivers, to be honest. Thank you, Mr. Waifu. You made me a lot of money from the game because of your channel. Thank you, EF, for real. Thank you, man. Thank you, Victor. I had an incident where a hobo was screaming when he got on. Yeah, that was, that can sometimes happen in big cities. But, what I'll tell you guys, the reason you want to have a dash cam is because it's your word against theirs, basically, if there's an accident. God forbid there's an accident. So it's like, I would recommend one personally. I don't even have one myself, but I want to get one. But it's, yeah, get a dash cam as soon as you can. But I'll tell you guys something. Something that I'll tell you is, if you are at a red light, or a stoplight, or a stop sign, right? And somebody backs up into you, slowly. They're doing either one of two things when they back up slowly into you. They're either pulling a scam, they'll get out of their car and they'll say, like, you know, give me $1,000 right now and I won't report this to insurance. Or they'll be like, or the second thing that they'll do is they'll be trying to carjack you, which is even worse. If that ever happens, when you're at a red light or a stop sign and somebody in front of you just slowly backs up into you, the reason they're doing that is because if you hit them, if it's their back that's hit, they have more evidence against you. If they do something like that to you, stay in your car. Do not get out of your car. Because basically, that's the scam that happens. But then also the second thing is the carjacking. The carjacking, they have two guys in the car, and the reason that they back up slowly into you is because they're hoping that you get out of your car pissed off. And then one guy's going to throw you to the ground, take the car, and they're both going to drive off. That's what I say. If you ever see that happen to you, where they back up into you when you're at a red light, or do not get out of the car. That's just what I'll say. Don't. I mean, keep the car doors locked. Don't even have the window open. Don't you know, just that. That's a trick that carjackers do all the time. Oh, okay, Phoenix. But I guess we'll be, I'll be getting off here because I'm really hungry. I want to eat dinner. I haven't eaten dinner yet. So if you guys want to ask me anything before I go, I'll still stick around. I'll answer a few questions before I go. And since you are from New York City, in GTA 4, there are many old school vehicles driving around. Was that the case in the 2000s? Yes, there's still really old cars you can still see to this day. No Arena Wars today? We'll do it another time, Melon. I'm just really hungry. Someone clipped my car and ripped off the front bumper. Dashcam saved me paying $3,000 out of pocket. Oh, that's good then. Yeah, that's it. Now, another thing I'll tell you guys. Do you know, like, Eastern Europe, for example? Like, Eastern Europe? Like, when you see, like, those videos on YouTube of those crazy car accidents in Poland or in Russia, you know, places like that. Do you know why people basically say the most crazy car accidents happen in those countries, but that's not true. The craziest car accidents happen everywhere. The thing is that a lot of drivers in America, for example, don't have dash cams, but in Eastern Europe, most cars have dash cams. That's why you see so many of those crazy accidents. Why is there so many dash cams on vehicles in Eastern Europe? Especially Poland. In Poland, everyone that I pretty much know in Poland has a dash cam. The reason is because the scams in Poland are out of control. There's so many scams in Poland where people will just, you know, they will back up into you. What they'll even do is they will slowly fall onto your car. So basically what would happen is when you're at a red light or a stop sign, they'll just fall on top of your car. They'll just like walk by and they'll just fall right on top of your car and they'll say, "Oh, you hit me," and then they'll say, "Pay me right now or report this to the insurance." So that's why people have dash cams in Poland and in a lot of Eastern European countries, because the scams are just out of control there. When stream, enjoy your dinner. Thank you, Chasaruni. Thanks, man. Great stream, Pro. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Fernando. Thanks, man. Yes, I have another top video coming out in GT Online. But I guess I will be getting some food here to eat. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you everybody who stopped by, liked the stream. If you didn't enjoy the stream, do drop a like. It does help me. If you're new to my channel, enjoy my content, and subscribe to me. I try to put out videos every single day. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys all have a great weekend. Have a wonderful day, guys. Take care, everyone.